Ian, but I appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon, hopefully shortly. Browns, Bears, Watson, Sanders. Who do you like? Do you like either? I like Todd Monken. Very candid. I appreciate the way he handles things. All right, Deshaun Watson, trying to win this job. Screen passes always help when they work. That's Dylan Sampson, who's going to get upfield through the Chicago secondary for 43 yards. Looking very good. 4 plays later in a second quarter. 1st and 10 of the Bears 14. Give me some Casey Concepcion. We love this guy. Watch this. The Rook. That's a touchdown. Signal it. Yes, thank you. Look at hand planting, knees up, hand plant. That's a double hand plant for Casey Concepcion, a guy that we really like, and a rookie able to bounce off Dante Manning. Concepcion, the 2025 Paul Horning Award winner. Later in the second quarter, Deshaun Watson again looking to pass to Dylan Sampson, but no, it's knocked down. He's hit, and there's a fumble, and the Bears recover. Watson trying to rub the rust off his first action in 22 months. It's been a while. Watson over the middle, incomplete to Denzel Boston, and now he's shaking his throwing hand after the play. Watch the follow through. It was just ugly. Unclear whether he hit a helmet or landed on his hand. We're not sure. He played the entire first half, finished 11 of 15, which sounds good for 126 yards. Shedeur, second half now, looking over the middle. He's got a man. That's Luke Flourier. Hopefully I'm saying it right. First down. Appreciate you, Luke. As Watson looks on, fourth quarter now. Down 14 points. Shedeur, Sanders, got it. No, you don't. Down low goes to Malachi Corley. It's intercepted by Beanie Bishop Jr., who tries to house this thing. That would be the last play of the day for Shedeur. Shedeur is 6 of 11 for 79 yards, and that pretty ugly interception, which he owned up to afterwards. That's Luther Burden. That's Caleb. They did not play. The Bears will go on to win the game rolling away because Ben Johnson is kind of a jerk. But afterwards, 34-10, never mind that. We're talking about Browns quarterbacks. I mentioned Deshaun, 11 of 15. Let's hear from both of them now.
It was exciting. It was great just to be out here, go through the pregame with the guys, get some live action, throw the ball around. So it was a blessing to be back.
Physically, how do you feel having guys come at you, pass rushers, getting back into that rhythm?
I felt good. I feel really healthy. I got to get back in football shape, but it was really good to be back.
Any decision I make, I know it's the right decision. I just didn't execute the decision, but the right decision was made. So every day I look and I see about decision making, like, how's my decisions I'm making, and that's how I grade myself off of, Obviously, turn the ball over and all that stuff is not great, and it won't survive a long time in the league doing that.
It's August 17th. We want more answers than questions when it comes to the quarterback conversation across the league. We know kind of what's going on in Atlanta. Minnesota we have figured out, but Cleveland remains the ultimate curiosity for us. Ian Rappaport. So what is the latest that you are hearing about who has the inside track for QB1 with the Browns?
First of all, the Cleveland Browns came into this preseason with Deshaun Watson essentially having the inside track at their starting quarterback job because of experience, because of how well he can run the operation, and just overall proficiency. Now, Shedeur Sanders has pushed. He's certainly had his moments. You saw one of them there in the highlight, and he is going to have his opportunity next week. Basically, what the Browns have done is say Deshaun Watson starts week 1, Shedeur Sanders starts week 2 of the preseason, and then at that point, perhaps if all the data points are in, if they can collect all the info from the spring practices to the training camp to the games, then maybe they can make a decision the starter will start week 3 or not, and then just move forward like that, let the number 1 get all of the reps. So yeah, I would say Deshaun Watson still in pole position for the job. Shedeur Sanders has had his moments and is going to continue to push. He's got his shot next week. We'll see how it all looks, but judging from the words of Todd Monken talking about Deshaun Watson's performance this week, at least Monken sounds pretty pleased with the first action for Deshaun Watson in several years after battling a couple years of injuries.
All right, Rap Sheet, thank you so much. First, your head coach, Todd Monken. He's got a big decision to make here to make sure that at least in the beginning of his reigns, this thing goes the right way. Manti, we have all this information. We have week 1 of the preseason. How do you see this playing out?
Well, right now, when I watch this past week's game, I looked at Deshaun Watson, someone who he felt a little uncomfortable in the pocket, and that's understandable knowing that he hasn't played football in a long time. He had happy feet in there. He was checking the ball down, getting the ball out very quick, whereas Shedeur had a little bit more poise. He was a little bit more comfortable getting heat in his face. But you do look at Deshaun and his ability to extend plays. He does have that threat. He run the football, whether it be up the middle. I just think as Deshaun Watson starts to calm down, as these reps start to accumulate for him, he starts to get his feet wet, maybe that will improve a little bit. But the reality of it is this, guys, we've talked about the quarterbacks, but I looked at a game against the Chicago Bears that aren't known to putting a lot of pressure, with Dennis Allen as their defensive coordinator, and they were getting a lot of pressure on these quarterbacks. So I don't know who you put back there. You can't get a clear picture of these quarterbacks with defenders in their face all the time. So it's hard for me to say off of just one preseason game who should be the starter, because both had okay days. They shined in some areas and they struggled in others, KB. But if I had to put my finger on one, I would probably give it to Deshaun a little bit because of his ability to run the football, and then hoping that over time, he'll get more comfortable in the pocket.
I'm going the other way. I'm ready to say Monday right now, August 17th. I think Shedeur should start for the Browns. I don't think either of them look very good right now. I don't know if either of them are going to be very good to start the season, but at least I would go with the guy who may become good in Shedeur Sanders. I'd go with Shedeur. We've been waiting on Deshaun Watson for one reason or another to be good for years, and I'm hearing his experience get touted. His experience from what, 2020? That's the last. I'm not making that up. I'm not exaggerating for a fact. It was 2020 the last time he was good. We were watching Tiger King and social distancing the last time that Deshaun Watson was out there being like, wow, he looks good. Why are you starting him? Is he definitely better than Shedeur Sanders? You think you're going to start Deshaun Watson and go 10-7 this year? No, you're not. No, you're not. If it's in any way close, and it seems like it is, wouldn't you want to go with a guy who might become good, who might get better when he's out there, and also someone who's going to make the fans happier, who is actually a born and bred Cleveland Brown, not some mercenary with the worst contract in the history of sports who is disavowed by your own owner, who is a pariah? What is the win in starting Deshaun Watson? Why are we doing this? He's maybe slightly better, and he was good 6 years ago. I would roll with Shedeur. I know Deshaun Watson's numbers looked good yesterday. If you didn't watch the game, his box score is impressive. He didn't look good. He didn't. He doesn't look like a guy where you're like, yes, we're choosing him as our starter. Shedeur didn't look good either. I'm not saying either of them are good. I'm saying they're pretty much a push, and if you have a push, go with the guy who's much younger, who has a bigger upside right now, who the fans like more, and maybe you can grow into something. I just don't understand the case for Deshaun Watson, unless it's money, which I have to imagine maybe has a part in this. But Todd Monken also strikes me a guy who doesn't give a crap. So it's August 17th. I think it should be Shedeur. It's probably going to be Watson. It probably won't work. What kind of a season are we looking for the Browns anyway? You traded your best player. You kind of put your cards on the table there. I don't know if either of these guys are going to be even in the equation going into 2027. Why not take a ride with Shedeur and see if he turns into something? Maybe you catch lightning in a bottle and the fans go crazy. You chart Deshaun Watson, I don't know, a good chance he'll get hurt. You go 5-12. Is that what you wanted? Then you got it. That's all I got.
But hey, Casey Concepcion had a great touchdown catch,
Unbelievable.
Double.
Double stiff arm to the grass.
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about.
This is it's a brutal situation for the Browns to be in, because the ultimate luxury is to have a guy and not have to start him for a while. And that's where the Rams sit right now, because their first round pick